Hey there, Chef Bob, and we're gonna make a ginger pork rice bowl. So what we have is some ground pork, 80-20, and a large saute pan. We're gonna turn this on to medium-high heat. We're gonna add a touch of sesame oil, just a little bit, probably a teaspoon. And then we're gonna fortify that with a little bit of canola oil, which is a little bit more neutral, but it doesn't carry the same flavor as sesame, and sesame oil can be a little bit overpowering. So we're gonna let this come to temp. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna lightly break off chunks of the ground pork into the hot pan. And what we're trying to do is just wait until this pan is ideally hot enough to where it gets a nice, really good sear on the pork. And we're just gonna pinch off probably quarter-sized pieces of pork. You can just do a tester. Once you kind of smell the sesame, you'll know it's a little bit hot, it's hot enough. We got a little ways to go. Like I said, we're gonna start probably at the top of the pan. You just kind of work your way around and fill up the pan, but you don't wanna overcrowd it because it'll start steaming. And then once a protein starts steaming, you lose a lot of the flavor of that sear. So once we start getting that sizzle, we'll start adding a little bit more pork. For this recipe, you're probably looking for 6 to 8 ounces per bowl. That's even a little bit on the heavy side. And here we have a pound of pork. So we want to do this in batches. So you don't want to overcrowd it. Just let that go. If you have a little bit of pork on the side, the extra, just let it hang out and we'll do another batch of that. Well, the key thing here that we're looking for is to get a really good sear on this pork. And then we're gonna start to season it. So in about a minute or two. And then once that starts to caramelize a little bit on that side, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add a touch of ginger. And a little pinch. Then we're gonna add a little bit of sugar for sweetness. A little bit of salt. About the same amount of sugar to salt ratio. And then we'll just flip one over. It's not quite there yet. So we'll just flip it back and we'll just wait. You really want that dark brown color on the pork before you start flipping it. Well, that's going. I'll just kind of introduce what we have in front of us here ingredient-wise. So this will be on the topping of it, of the bowl. We have the base of just jasmine white rice cooked in the rice cooker. And then we have some sunflower seeds, some sesame seed, shaved cabbage, fresh cucumber that is sliced, fresh carrot that's grated, lime, cilantro, pickled red onions, a little bit of scallion, and then that'll all go onto that bowl once this pork is kind of cooked off and done. Don't be afraid if the pork isn't browning up to kick it up just a little bit. So I just moved the temperature up to about medium high, almost high heat now. And then once we get this color here, that nice dark brown, then we can start flipping it and we can start adding more seasoning. So we got a good saute working. I could smell the ginger. It's getting fragrant. And we're just gonna mix this up a little bit. Give it a stir. And we're gonna brown the other side evenly. Once both sides are browned up, we're gonna add a touch of soy sauce and a touch of rice wine vinegar. And then we're gonna start to crumble this sausage up, or this ground pork, I'm sorry. And then after that, if you, like I said, if you have excess pork, then we're gonna just clean the pan out clean and then restart again and do the exact same process. Maybe take the pork that's already cooked, put it in a slightly warm oven, talking like 200 degrees. Just keep it a little bit warm. You don't want anything excess to where it'll dry out. but you just want to keep it warm, especially if you're doing like a big party or you have guests over or friends or you're just cooking for your family in general and it's a large family. So always keep it slightly warm and then just restart with the next pork. So this is browned. We're just going to give it a little smash with a spoon. Just smash it up a little bit. Break it into bite-sized pieces. And then once that's smashed up, what we're going to do is just going to hit it with a little bit of vinegar. Just a touch. The acid in there will really wake up that ginger. And then a little bit of soy sauce. You want to add both of these at the end, at the very end, because if concentrated, they can become overbearing and way too strong of a flavor. Mix this up. You can really smell that vinegar and soy. You want to coat the pork so it gets a nice glaze on the outside. If you want to test the largest piece of pork that you have in your pan, you just want to cut that one open. Juices run clear and it's just a little bit over pink inside. You're good to go. So now we'll take this and we'll start to build the bowl. All right, now that we have all of our ingredients collected, pork is cooked, it's glazed nice. Got a nice steaming bowl of rice here. We're going to build this bowl. Super simple, fast, and delicious. So we're going to take the pork, take your pan, and make sure you're over your intended location of where you want to put it. So if anything drips, it goes right into the pan, or if anything falls off. And then we're just going to build this almost like a clock. Put the pork right down here at the bottom. And we're going to build around it. And then we will go with some pickled red onion. Good little pinch. To add some brightness, some acidity. And then we'll go with some fresh herbs. This is fresh cilantro. You can go with mint, Thai basil if you have it. You just kind of want to rip it up just a little bit. It doesn't have to be minced, it doesn't have to be nice and fancy. We'll just keep filling in the bowl. We'll go with a little bit of lime. Three or four lime wedges. Squirt over the top. Change the flavor profile up in each bite if you'd like. Some fresh raw carrot that we grated. Keep spinning the bowl. Then we'll do 5 or 6 cucumbers that we just took a vegetable peeler and then just shaved it about 4 times on each side and then cut it into little coins. And then we got some raw cabbage that we shaved very thin. You just want to pinch down and then use your left hand and kind of place it. You don't want anything really outside of the lines of the bowl. You want to keep everything in very tight. And now we're just going to garnish. So we have a little bit of sunflower seed, which is going to add some crunch. And some nuttiness to the dish. Then we'll go scallions right in the middle. So we just took some scallions, green onions, sliced them on a very hard bias. And you can just stand them up right in the middle here. And then lastly, we're going to finish with some sesame seeds, black and white. And we're just going to kind of go all over. I don't want to go too high up with this garnish because I don't want sesame seeds all over the kitchen. So you want to go like 2 or 3 inches above your plate. It's more controlled, it's more precise, but you just still want to let it fall organically and fall kind of where it's may. And just a little bit on the scallions. Then if you'd like to finish this dish, we're just gonna take a little bit of that sesame oil and just a drizzle over the top, very, very light. Keep your finger over the hole and just a light drizzle of sesame. And then I usually finish with just a little bit of acid. In this case, we have a lime. And just do a little lime over the top to kind of waken everything up. And this is our ginger pork bowl.